Few people realise that the Queen's quiet granddaughter, Lady Louise Windsor, might just be the most intriguing young royal of her generation. While her cousins have dominated the headlines, Louise has quietly been charting a path that could take her somewhere no modern royal woman has gone before, into the ranks of Britain's armed forces. Yes, the poised, soft-spoken daughter of Prince Edward and Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, is rumoured to harbour genuine military ambitions. And she has both the family history and the quiet determination to make them real. In today's video, we'll explore how Lady Louise's upbringing, character and royal lineage have shaped her sense of duty, and why whispers around Windsor suggest that this young royal could one day wear a uniform, not a tiara. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe for more elegant stories and unseen sides of royal life. Lady Louise Alice Elizabeth Mary Mountbatten Windsor was born on November 8, 2003, at Frimley Park Hospital, making her the first grandchild of Queen Elizabeth II to be born outside a royal palace. Her arrival wasn't without drama. She was born prematurely, and both mother and daughter faced serious complications. Yet, from the very beginning, those close to the family say Louise showed a quiet strength, a kind of resilience that would come to define her. Unlike her cousins William, Harry, Beatrice and Eugenie, Louise grew up away from the bright lights of royal celebrity. Her parents, Prince Edward and Sophie, deliberately chose a low-key upbringing at their sprawling estate, Bagshot Park, in Surrey. There were no royal bodyguards trailing her to school, no press photographers at every event. She attended St Mary's School, Ascot, and later St Andrews University, following the family's strong academic tradition. Yet beneath that polished, thoughtful exterior, friends describe Louise as deeply curious about the military world, a fascination inherited, perhaps, from her grandfather, Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh. To understand Lady Louise's ambitions, one must understand her bond with her late grandfather, Prince Philip. Philip, a decorated naval officer, was perhaps the greatest influence in her young life. He personally encouraged her love of carriage driving, a sport that requires precision, discipline and courage, qualities he valued deeply from his own years in the Royal Navy. When Philip passed away in 2021, Lady Louise paid a quiet but powerful tribute. She drove his carriage at the Windsor Horse Show, using the same ponies he once trained himself. Dressed in smart equestrian attire, her composure moved even hardened courtiers to tears. It wasn't just a sentimental moment. It was a statement. A young woman of grace and steel, honouring her grandfather not with words, but with action. Friends later revealed that she had inherited Philip's sense of duty, discipline, and mechanical curiosity. She reportedly spends hours maintaining her carriage and harnesses herself, learning the technical side rather than delegating it to staff. It's this combination of intellect and grit that has made royal insiders quietly suggest that, if Lady Louise were to follow in anyone's footsteps, it would be her grandfather's, not as a royal consort, but as a servant of the crown through the military. If you're enjoying this exploration into Lady Louise's life, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. It truly helps us bring you more thoughtful royal stories every week. Military service runs deep through the Windsor bloodline. Her great-grandfather, King George VI, served during the First World War. Her uncle, Prince Andrew, flew helicopters during the Falklands conflict. Her cousin, Prince Harry, served 2 tours in Afghanistan. And even her father, Prince Edward, briefly joined the Royal Marines before realising his calling lay elsewhere. Edward's decision to leave the Marines was one of the rare moments of public criticism he faced. But in hindsight, it may have influenced how he and Sophie raised their daughter. Those close to the family say they have instilled in Louise a respect for commitment, hard work, and quiet duty, the kind of qualities the military honours most. Lady Louise's mother, Sophie, has often spoken about the importance of service and self-reliance. She herself has taken on hundreds of charitable duties, often without fanfare, and is regarded as one of the most disciplined working royals. So when reports began circulating that Louise had shown interest in joining one of the Armed Forces University cadet programs, it didn't come as a surprise to those who know her best. According to one former palace aide, Louise has the right temperament. She's thoughtful, measured, but also brave. She's exactly the kind of young person the Duke of Edinburgh would have been proud to see in uniform. At first glance, Lady Louise doesn't fit the image of a military recruit. She's known for her modesty, her quiet speech, and her love of literature. But those who underestimate her often forget that she grew up under the mentorship of one of the most disciplined royals in history. Since her early teens, Louise has competed in carriage driving competitions, which demand not only physical strength, but also mental stamina and tactical awareness. One could argue that carriage driving is the aristocratic cousin of a military drill: horses, strategy, teamwork, and timing. Observers at royal equestrian events often note her calm focus, even when surrounded by senior royals and cameras. She rarely seeks attention, but when she performs, there's an unmistakable authority about her. If she were to pursue military service, it might follow the example of her cousin, Princess Anne's daughter Zara, who represented Britain in equestrian sports at the Olympics: service through excellence, not ceremony. In Louise's case, that excellence could be found in the Royal Army's Equestrian or Logistics Corps, where her technical skills and leadership could shine. What makes Lady Louise's story so compelling is her attitude toward privilege. Despite being the granddaughter of a monarch and daughter of the Duke of Edinburgh, she does not hold the title of princess. Her parents deliberately chose for both Louise and her brother James to grow up as private citizens, not working royals, and this might be the key to her military ambitions. Without the constraints of senior royal duties, Louise is free to pursue a more personal path, one rooted in service rather than ceremony. In interviews, her mother, Sophie, has said that both children will have to work for a living, and that they were raised with the understanding that the monarchy will not define them. This independence mirrors the quiet ethos of her family, a belief that true nobility lies in responsibility, not rank. Imagine then the symbolism of a royal woman, one born into centuries of privilege, choosing to serve her country not from a balcony, but from the barracks. If Lady Louise does decide to pursue a military career, what would it look like? Given her age, now in her early 20s, she could apply for a commission through the British Army's Officer Training Academy at Sandhurst, the same institution that trained both Prince William and Prince Harry. Alternatively, she might explore the Royal Navy, in homage to her grandfather, Prince Philip. Recent reports have hinted that she's been seen attending equestrian events with officers from the Household Cavalry, the same regiment that protects the monarch during ceremonial occasions. While no official statement has been made, those encounters have certainly fueled speculation. More realistically, Louise could follow the model of a reserve officer, combining military service with her academic and charitable commitments, a balance that would fit perfectly with her private lifestyle. Whatever path she takes, one thing is certain: it would redefine what it means to be a modern female royal. There is something quietly transformative about Lady Louise's generation of royals. They are not rebels, but reformers, less concerned with titles, more concerned with purpose. Louise embodies that shift. She rarely gives interviews, avoids social media, and has built a reputation for discretion and thoughtfulness. Her decision to study English literature reflects a mind that values reflection over noise. And yet, it's that very intelligence, combined with her sense of duty, that makes the idea of a military role not just possible, but fitting. To many, she represents the soft power of a new monarchy, loyal, humble, and quietly brave. In that sense, she may one day become one of the royal family's most valuable assets, a bridge between tradition and modernity, between privilege and service. What do you think? Should Lady Louise Windsor follow in her grandfather's footsteps and serve her country in uniform? Or should she continue the quiet life her parents have so carefully protected? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more rare insights into the world of Britain's most fascinating royals. As the British monarchy continues to evolve under King Charles III, new faces will define its future. Lady Louise Windsor may never seek the spotlight, but her quiet strength, intelligence, and rumoured military ambitions suggest that her story is only just beginning. Because sometimes, the most powerful royals are not the ones who command armies, but the ones who are brave enough to join them.